Hi, I'm Mr. Muhammad Fitri Babadur Hisham. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all. Today, we are going to talk about speaking tests. Let's go to the next slide. What is speaking test? Alright, speaking test is one part of your paper that you have to sit for your SPM examination. There are three parts in this assessment: part 1, part 2, and part 3. Students are assessed with a partner and both are given approximately 30 minutes to complete all the tasks. This paper will contribute 25% of the candidate's overall exam score. So you don't have to worry. You will have your own partner to sit beside you during this test. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, speaking test or paper 3 or the code itself 1119/3. What are the tests they are going to implement during the test? Alright, the first one is interview. The duration of time for this part of assessment is 3 to 4 minutes. Candidates have to respond to questions about familiar topics that will be asked by the interlocutor. Who is the interlocutor? It might be your own English teacher. The second part is individual long term. The duration of time is between 3 to 4 minutes for both candidates. Both candidates have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a given topic. Candidate A will speak on a given topic. Candidate B then will answer short question on the same topic. Roles will be swapped throughout this task. Part 3 is a discussion. This is going to take a long discussion, 4 to 5 minutes of discussion. Topic is given for both candidates to discuss. Eventually, they have to come with a decision to answer a given question. It's like a stimulus. You have a mind map, they have all the content points, and it's your decision to discuss on the topic itself. And you need to elaborate more about the content point. One broader question will also be given on the same topic. Clear? Let's go to the next slide. Now, let's go to how do we answer part 1. Part 1 is quite a simple version of the test. It requires you to just answer the question given by the interlocutor. What are the questions? The question might be, the teacher might ask you, what is your name? How are you? How do you come to school? Alright, so you need to answer all these questions. How? Right? Sufficient. Your answer need to be sufficient. Not too short, not too long. 3 sentences at least. So, meaning to say here, part 1 is just a warm-up session for you to get ready to a difficult level after this. Not that difficult. Remember, you are going to sit this test with your own friend. Let's go to the next slide. Okay? Part 2 and part 3. How to answer these two parts. Alright. As I said before, these two parts is going to be a little bit difficult to most of you. But don't worry. As long as your friend is beside you and ready to help you, so why not? Be confident. Alright, so how do we answer these two parts? First of all, as referring to the slides before, alright, this duration of duration of time in these two parts is 3 to 5 minutes. So, what do you need to do? How you are going to spend your time there? So remember, you need to stretch out your answer. You cannot answer it short. You need to elaborate more, give more example, more information. Or you might want to give extended sentences. Okay, let's go to the next slide. As I said before, Part 2 and Part 3 requires you to expand your answer. How? How you are going to expand? How you are going to elaborate your answers? So, here are the tips. Let's look at the tips. Okay, the first tip. State your own feelings or give your own opinion. Don't be scared to share your own feeling or opinion. Adding opinion or showing emotions to your answer may help the examiner to understand better. Remember, you are not doing this test alone. You are doing this with your friend and with a teacher in front of you. You are talking, you are discussing to make sure the examiner in front of you, your own English teacher, will understand what you are going to say. And don't worry, your interlocutor will help you time to time. So, let's look at the example question. Look on the red question there. What's your favorite food? Short answer, I like Korean food. But this type of answer is usually not very appropriate for part 2 and part 3. For part 2 and part 3, you need to answer in a long sentences. For example, I love Korean food because I like the spiciness in it. I can handle spicy food. Let's look at tips number 2. Step 2. Contrasting details. How you are going to expand your idea is by contrasting details. Using contrasting idea by adding but, however, in contrast to show the opposing idea. For example, question, do you like homeschooling? In short, you can answer, I prefer going to school normally. But for part 2 and part 3, it is mostly appropriate if you answer it like this in long sentences. For example, I prefer going to school normally. However, if it is safer to homeschool, then I have no choice, I guess. Let's go to tips number 3. Tips number 3, combining details. All right, when you have idea, you have a lot of details. So you need to use linking words. For example, and, with, also, in addition, and many more. For example, what do you do in the morning? You might want to answer, I took my bath. Yes, that is correct. But then, it is not appropriate for part 2 and part 3. These two parts requires you to answer in long sentences. For example, I took my bath and performed my subuh prayer. Then, I have breakfast with my family downstairs. Clear? Let's go to tips number 4. Tips number 4. Past comparison. It is when you are comparing with what you used in the past and what you take on at present. For example, what is your favorite subject at school? I like to learn arts. That is a correct answer. But then, you want to expand your answer. How? Alright, answer it like this. I used to like arts, but now I found interest in language. Clear? Let's go to tips number 5. Tips number 5, adding reason. When you have your own answer, you need to give your reason to expand your answer. Give reason to your answer or choice. Use because, for, since, or due to. For example, which one do you prefer, dark or bright color? You might want to answer like this. I like bright color because it brings out the cheerful self in me. That is tip number 5. Let's go to tips number 6. Tips number 6, giving example. Why do you want to give example? It is to help you explain further about your own talking points. For example, how was your birthday celebration? You can answer in short, it was a happy day for me. But then, for part 2 and part 3, you need to answer it in a longer sentences. For example, it was a happy day for me. My mother baked 2 gigantic cakes, organized a party for me, and the most unforgettable one was my father bought me PS5. I am the happiest boy alive. Let's go to the last tip. Tips number 7. The last tips, number 7, frequency. We use frequency words such as often, usually, always, or never to expand our idea. For example, question, what do you do during Hari Raya festival? Of course, you can answer, I always visit my relatives. But then, for part 2 and part 3, you need to answer, I always visit my relative near and far. I will bring them food and some duit raya for the little ones. Clear? That's all the tips that you can use to expand your sentences or your idea. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, that's all the tips that I would like to share with all of you. But then, you need to improve yourself by practicing. You need to practice a lot. Speak with your friends to make you used the English language itself. When you are speaking, you need to keep calm. Take a deep breath. Speak loud and clear. And think before you speak. Don't speak too fast. You need to have your own pace, one by one. And most importantly, you need to have a big vocab. You need to read a lot. You need to upgrade your vocabulary. And then, of course, eventually, you need to upgrade your grammar. Let's go to the last slide. Hi, this is the last slide. Okay, here my friends and I have prepared some links for you to go on practicing yourself. You need to do a lot of practice because when you use the language itself, it will make you feel confident to speak. Remember, to speak requires confidence. Here are the link. You can click the link and do some exercise to improve yourself. I'm Mr. Fitri. Please help yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.